Number 8. U.S. Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs are the cornerstone of naval special warfare combat units and are suitably named after the environments they operate in, namely the sea, air, or land. They are organized, trained, and equipped for a wide range of special operations tasks. When it comes to recruits, there are 3 things the SEALs look out for. These are men of character, people that can uphold the values of the United States Navy, those with the physical capability to carry out the mission, especially in water, and technical recruits who have the intelligence and ability to learn fast. But that's not all a recruit needs. The physical screening tests are rigorous and involve a 1.5-mile run that has to be finished within 10.5 minutes. They also have to swim 500 yards using either breath or side strokes in under 12.5 minutes, and that's just a test if you get into training. There are then 3 more pre-training tests taken over the course of 7 months, including a grueling physical test, a scuba diving test, and a test of warfare skills, including marksmanship and orienteering. If you get through all this, then you can take the BUD-S, Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL. After this comes the SQT, or SEAL Qualification Training. This 6-month school in Coronado, California prepares graduates to join the SEAL team by training them in diving, shooting, parachuting, small unit tactics, as well as mission planning and diving. After finishing all of this training, graduates are finally then assigned to a SEAL or SDV squad for service. The Navy SEALs have been involved in many major wars and conflicts, from the D-Day landings of 1944, deployment in Vietnam, Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm during the Gulf War in 1991, and the rescue of Captain Richard Phillips in 2009. But what the Navy SEALs are most recently famous for is their role in taking down Osama Bin Laden in 2011. The SEALs that killed Bin Laden were apparently from the Navy SEALs Special Warfare Development Group, or DEVGRU, or SEAL Team 6. After their role became known, the SEALs were the focus of worldwide attention as the elite warriors who carried out one of the highest profile special operations raid in history. Number 7. Britain's Special Boat Service. The Special Boat Service is the British Royal Navy's elite marine counter-terrorism outfit. They specialize in daring undercover raids that take advantage of the element of surprise and are made of small, highly trained teams. Most of their operations utilize helicopter raids, storming onto enemy boats by rappelling down quickly and subduing anyone on board. But the SBS has also taken part in deployments on land, including the conflicts in both Iraq and Afghanistan. To add to the reputation of these soldiers, during their deployment in Iraq, a group of SBS soldiers were ambushed by enemy troops. After running out of bullets, they decided to still go out fighting, showing exactly what they were capable of. They attacked the surrounding ISIS forces using knives in their bare hands to take out as many of them as possible. One of the SBS soldiers even drowned an ISIS operative in a puddle. Training to enter the SBS is grueling and consists of intensive endurance training in the Brecon Beacons in Wales and overseas training in Belize. To put into perspective just how hard the training can be, 3 recruits died in 2013 while taking part. The majority of the SBS's actions are classified, so nothing is known about the people in the force or most of their operations. But many of them are from the Royal Marines Commandos and have remarkable physical and mental abilities which have been tried and tested time after time. Number 6. Polish GROM. GROM is a part of the Polish Special Forces. The group was set up in 1990 by General Petelicki. Although they are one of the newer special operations units in the world, GROM shouldn't be underestimated. Their insignia features an eagle holding a lightning bolt in its claws, a move inspired by a World War II Special Forces unit called Cichociemnicy. The Cichociemnicy were paratroopers in the Polish liberation movement. Their motto was, "Be silent and unseen." Since their founding and training with British SAS and American Delta Force teams, GROMS has been active in several projects, both on foreign soil and at home. In 1994, they took part in police-type military operations in Haiti. During Operation Little Flower in the Balkans, soldiers apprehended war criminals, including Slavik Dokmanovic, called the Butcher of Vukovar for the crimes he committed in the Bosnian War. GROM is still active in a few regions of Afghanistan, where they've been working since 2002 battling the Taliban, conducting hostage rescue operations, apprehending and destroying hundreds of militants, and helping prevent many attacks on NATO forces. GROM also carries out operations both on land and sea, ranging from reconnaissance to hostage liberation, as well as targeted assaults and raids. With their training in jungle climates in South America as well as the cold wastes of northern Scandinavia, they are ready for anything their next assignment might throw at them. While most special forces around the world put an emphasis on physical and mental strength and endurance, GROM also places high importance on creating bonds and camaraderie. This helps the soldiers within the unit work together seamlessly, making them a considerable threat to enemy forces. Number 5. U.S. Delta Force. Delta Force is the United States Specialist Counterterrorism Force. Their aim is to kill or capture high-value targets and dismantle terrorist cells when possible. Despite this, Delta Force is highly adaptable and engages in direct action missions, hostage rescues, secret missions with the CIA. They also operate as high-ranking protection services for senior officials during visits to foreign countries. Although Delta Force was only put together a few decades ago in 1977, they've been involved in some of the last year's highest-profile operations. These include the Battle of Tora, Bora, which focused on killing or capturing Osama Bin Laden, the man behind the 2001 9/11 terrorist attack in New York, Operation Red Dawn, which led to the capture of Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, and Operation Black Swan, where they managed to apprehend the notorious drug baron Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Other than the U.S. Navy SEALs, Delta Force is one of the best-known special forces in the world. As a result, they have been featured in several movies, including one in 1986 called The Delta Force, starring legendary actor Chuck Norris, and Black Hawk Down in 2001. Delta Force has also found itself subject to multiple video games and novels too. Even though they have a lot of media representation, much of what Delta Force does and operations they have been a part of remains secret to this day. Personnel swear themselves to an oath of silence, and official documents and statements about their actions are few and far between. How do you think you would cope if you were training for a Special Forces division? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as part of your mission. Number 4. The Sayeret Matkal of Israel. The Sayeret Matkal is Israel's most elite special unit. Instead of engaging in combat, the Sayeret Matkal's primary objective is reconnaissance and uncovering information from behind enemy lines. They can still hold their own in a hostile situation though. Their skills also make them a top counter-terrorism force and hostage rescue team. The team was created in 1957 and has been involved in a number of high-profile operations over the years, including the rescue of hostages from Uganda's Entebbe airport back in 1976 and the assassination of Hamas leader Salah Shahende in 2002. Members of the Sayeret Matkal are highly trained and competent commandos chosen from the best of the best Israeli defense forces for their physical and mental qualities as well as their leadership potential. As a testament to this, many influential figures in Israeli leadership have a close history with the Sayeret Matkal. These include the current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and leaders of the Israeli Defense Force. Number 3. Indian Marcos. Marcos stands for Marine Commandos, which is a special operations unit in the Indian Navy. These men are the cream of the crop when it comes to the Indian military forces, and they are highly skilled with a wide range of abilities such as amphibious warfare, reconnaissance, and counter-terrorism operations. Marcos was officially formed in 1987 in response to the growing threat of terrorism in their country. Originally nicknamed the Dadiwala Fauj, after the beards the early members adopted as a disguise, they are based in Visakhapatnam, a port city in the east half of India, and their training is said to be among the toughest in the world. In fact, Marcos training is often compared to that of the U.S. Navy SEALs. It lasts 2.5 to 3 years. First, prospective Marine commandos are taught the fundamentals of handling equipment like firearms and explosives, fighting unarmed, parajumping, diving, kayaking, and even photography. They're trained to battle in many situations, including high-altitude cold combat, jungle warfare, and mountain warfare. Interestingly, Marcos recruits are also taught to shoot in different positions. These include lying down, running forward and backward, and while looking into a mirror. Marcos has been involved in several high-profile operations over the years, including the 2008 Mumbai attacks, Operation Black Tornado, and Operation Rahat in 2015, which evacuated Indian citizens from the war-torn Yemen. They are known for their stealth, precision, and courage, and they have earned quite the reputation as one of the most elite special forces units in the world. The Indian Marcos unit is incredibly impressive and highly respected. Their training, skills, and bravery make them a force to be reckoned with, and they play a vital role in protecting India's interests. Number 2. French GIGN. GIGN stands for Groupe d'Intervention de la Gendarmerie Nationale, a French special operations unit that specializes in counter-terrorism and hostage rescue missions. Despite only operating on domestic soil, they are still widely regarded as one of the best and most respected special forces unit in the world. The GIGN was officially created in 1974 after a series of high-profile terrorist attacks in France. Their primary role is to respond to crisis situations and to neutralize threats as quickly and safely as possible. GIGN selects its members from highly skilled personnel from the French National Gendarmerie. They go through a rigorous selection process, and only the best of the best make it. Some of the most notable deployments of the GIGN include the Air France 8969 hijacking in 1994, as well as their help in stopping the ISIS terror attacks in Paris back in November of 2015, which left 130 people dead. Their efforts were mainly centered on helping release hostages being held in the targeted building. One of the things that makes the GIGN unique is how they utilize non-lethal methods of neutralizing threats. They have a wide range of tools and techniques at their disposal, such as stun grenades, tear gas, and more, which they use to incapacitate their targets without actually harming them. Of course, when necessary, the GIGN is also fully capable of using lethal force to take down a threat, but their preference for non-lethal methods is the thing that sets them apart from other special units. And at number 1, the British SAS. The British Special Air Service is known worldwide. Their highly trained personnel are known for covert surveillance, close combat warfare, and hostage rescue. The SAS was formed during World War II when small groups of men were placed behind enemy lines in North African and European regions. One of the most notable missions the SAS has been involved in was the siege of the Iranian embassy in 1980. 6 armed insurgents of the Democratic Revolutionary Front for the Liberation of Arabistan, or DRFLA, invaded the embassy on Princess Gate in South Kensington, London, on the 30th of April 1980. They held 26 people hostage. 6 days of negotiations were conducted between the hostage takers and the Metropolitan Police, which seemed to be going nowhere. On day 6, feeling like an assault on their location was imminent, the insurgents killed one of their captives. They simply threw the body of cultural attaché Abbas Lavasani out a window on May 5th at 7 p.m. Just 7 minutes later, the SAS were called in to take them out. Operation Nimrod had begun. Unlike most Special Forces operations, which are conducted with secrecy, Operation Nimrod was different. It took place in front of the world's media, who were gathered at the gates of the embassy, with one of the SAS teams in full view of the press. As a result, the world saw exactly what the SAS are capable of, and why their motto is, "Who dares wins." After only 17 minutes of being given the go-ahead to enter the building, the siege was over after a fierce gunfight with the terrorists. 19 hostages were rescued, and all but one of their captors were killed in the assault. The actions of the SAS on this day marked them as international heroes. With some of the assault captured on camera for the world to see, the soldiers, clad in black with their imposing gas masks, became the standard bearers for the reputation of the British Special Forces as a whole. Thanks for watching. Which one of these groups do you think is the most formidable? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you next time.